Hey team, Miguel here. So excited to have you for the Coach Apprentice. Today's Monday. I am super pumped. Actually, to be honest, today's Sunday night and I'm making this video right after Fit Club. So here's the deal. Today we're going to talk a little bit about objections. Now, objections can be pretty tough for a lot of people. And so right off the bat, what I want to tell you to do is the assignment. The assignment for today is going to be that you post your top 3 objections that you hear below this video before I get into it. So that's the assignment for today. Post your top 3 objections that you hear, whether it's money or whatever it is. The more detail, the better, please. Because what I'm going to do is on Thursday, with my beautiful wife, Erin, we are going to sit down and together we're going to role play. We're going to role play. We're going to pick some of the objections. Hopefully I can pick 3 to 5, maybe even 10 objections that we hear below. And we're going to role play them. So the more details you give me, the better. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them and Erin's going to pretend to be the objection. And I'm going to reply the way that I would reply. Now, just before we so that's the assignment. So now let me get into a little bit more specifics about how I deal with objection and kind of some golden rules that I think you should live by. The number one thing you need to realize that when you hear an objection, and this is my best advice I can give you on objections. When you hear an objection, it has nothing to do with the words that are coming out of their mouth, okay? If you remember back in the training, in the initial training with Smart Ass Fitness, the members area, you'll remember that I told you that a lot of what you hear when people talk is 95% not the words. So 95% of when you talk to someone or someone talks to you is all about facial expression, emotion. The words hardly matter. So when you hear an objection, it's actually that it's not the objection, it's that someone doesn't see value in what you're telling them. So when you hear anything, it almost doesn't matter what they're saying, and I'll show you how to deal with specific objections later on, but the initial reaction has to be very different. So first of all, I can tell you that I don't hear a lot of objections. I don't hear a lot. I can probably, I'd be hard pressed to find 10 objections in the last year. And I can tell you that that's not because of any luck or fluke or anything like that, because I've talked to a lot of people that haven't signed up. And it's not an objection, it's just that it's not the right time for them, right? So I don't really hear I don't have the money or I don't have time or it's not for me. I don't hear any of those things. Usually I hear sounds great, like I'll totally do it when I have time. So if you hear an objection, it's because someone is flat out saying they don't want to do it. And so why are they saying that? So I think a big part, and this is kind of a realization exercise you need to do, is you need to sit down and kind of figure out what the vibe is that you're putting out there so that you're hearing the objection, okay? Why are you hearing the objection? So I'm going to talk to you on Thursday about how to deal with those objections, but today I want to talk to you about, the mindset that you go into before you hear the objection. Because I'll tell you that the pre-objection, I'll call it, before you hear the objection is almost bigger than how you handle the objection. Okay, so this is very different than most training you'll ever hear. So what I'm telling you is that what you said before you hear the objection is the reason why you're going to quote unquote fail at either getting this person to buy a challenge pack or Shakeology or whatever it is. So a couple of things that I make sure that I do when I talk to someone. One, I'm extremely positive. Okay, so if you're not extremely positive and excited about what you're talking about, your chance of failure goes up astronomically. Okay, so that's a big thing. I want to keep it short, so that's a big thing. You got to focus on the presence that you have with someone, okay? When you walk into a room and people can feel the emotion, the excitement, okay? You got to be positive, okay? So if the workout you're doing right now, you don't love it, you're not going to be able to sell. That's why I tell people, you got to love Shakeology, you got to love the workouts. If you don't love the workouts, aren't getting great results, right? Maybe you're trying, but you're not getting great results. If you don't love Shakeology, this whole business is going to be very hard because it's not like a sales company. It's something where people are buying you. They're not buying the product, right? Very important. So you got to be in a positive state, right? Let's say you're at a fit club and the fit club is hard and you find it very taxing and you're exhausted and your friends are there, right? Your friends ask you, how's it going? You can tell they're exhausted. Most people generally, what they tend to do is they try and match their friends, right? Which would make sense. That's what you usually do as a friend, right? So if people are tired and exhausted, you're going to be like, oh yeah, well, I'm kind of tired too. And, it's a really hard workout. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. What you need to do is you're a leader, right? So there are people that are looking for a change, and so they want to see that change in you. So there are people that are struggling with the workouts, and so your answer to, oh yeah, that was a pretty hard workout, has to be, you know what? Yeah, that was a little tough, but here's the deal. I loved that workout. Wasn't it awesome to go down and do that plank and try? I mean, and I love the 3, 2, and 1. I mean, that was freaking awesome. And I can tell you, like, if you keep coming like I'm coming, that workout will be just as easy as it was for me as it was for you. So you get it? So if you're not in great shape yet, you can't say that with a straight face because you are going to be exhausted. You are going to be tired. It's not going to happen. So that's one example. With Shakeology, same thing. If you don't love Shakeology and someone asks you, yeah, you know, I'm not so sure about the taste, I kind of don't love it, you're not going to be able to say something that you should. You're going to probably say, yeah, you know what, yeah, it's a little bit grainy. I know it's kind of grainy a little bit, so what I do is I let it sit for a bit, and then sometimes it tastes a little bit better, but, you know, don't worry about it, it's fine, right? No, your attitude, your positive attitude has to be, really, you found it grainy, or you didn't like the taste? Like, why? What about it was it? And they'll tell you some more stuff and be like, I'll be honest, like, I love it. I love the taste of Shakeology. So, I mean, that's too bad you don't like it. I kind of leave it there. And they're kind of shocked. They're like, why isn't he not defending it anymore? And they usually come back and they'll be like, oh, you know, I know, like, things that they're healthy, I guess they should. Oh, Shakeology is amazing. It's super healthy for you. I mean, like, before Shakeology, I used to make these drinks that were green, and they tasted horrible. So the fact that Shakeology tastes amazing, just like a chocolate milkshake to me, I mean, is awesome. I mean, even if for some reason I didn't love the flavor, and I felt that it was grainy, like, I wouldn't even care. Like, I mean, you should, one day, come over to my house, I'll make you one of those green drinks I used to make, and tell me what tastes better. I mean, really, like, it's all about health. And I can go on and on and on, right? So, again, I hardly ever get there because I've already set it all up beforehand. So if you're getting the objections, it's because you're not really setting it up in a positive light, right? And so that's a very important thing. The second thing I will tell you that is very important, why you might be hearing objections. So one is you got to be positive, right? Two, and flat out to be real with you here is, I don't know how to say it, you're not a good person. I don't mean it in a bad way like that. I don't mean you're not a good person. Everyone's a good person. But you're not being a nice person, maybe. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to be more obvious to you, but this is a chance for a reset, right? And I'm not going to call you up individually and say, hey, are you a nice person? Or, you know, do you do favors for people? The thing with network marketing is that people buy you. They don't buy the product. They don't buy the workouts. They don't buy Shakeology. What they're buying is they're buying you. They want to be associated with you as a person because they look up to you and they think you're a nice person. That's one of the biggest reasons. So if you're the guy or a girl that, you know, when people call you and want to change, need help changing their tire, I always say, right? So if someone calls you up and says, hey, you know, I'm 100 kilometers outside the city, my tire's just blown out, I need someone to come help me out. If you're the guy that would be like, no problem, man, where are you exactly? Not even asking a question, no problem, where are you? I'll be out there in 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, an hour, I'm going to be there. I don't care, man, I'll help you out. Just sit tight, wait right there. I'll be right there. Where are you? If you're that guy, you're going to do awesome with this business. If you're the guy that when someone calls you up and says, hey, I got some social tickets, you know, do you want to come out? If you're the guy that goes, absolutely, totally going to be there. Hey, do you have 30 tickets? Because I'm going to hand out 30 tickets for you because I want to support you, man. I'm there for you. I appreciate you. You've been so awesome in my life. You know, I'm going to be there. Hey, you know, what are the best prizes? Do you need help with the prizes? Do you need me to come beforehand? Boom. Okay, because that's me. That was always me my whole life. I've always, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. I'm just telling you, that was me. I was the guy that's always there for people. I was always trying to help people out my whole life. You know, when I got a better job at Microsoft and I got different jobs, I've always tried to hire friends around me. I've always just been there for people. I've always been there for people. And I felt that that's a very important thing to do. I've always looked up to, actually, something my dad taught me. My dad always told me that there's one mountain in life. There's one mountain in life. You know, we talked about religion and non-religion, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, and here's the deal, right? And this is what my dad always told me. Is like, there's one mountain in life and there's one top. Now, there's many ways to get to that top of the mountain. Some ways are going to be easier, you know, right up. Some ways are roundabout ways that you might get there. Some are circles. And some, unfortunately, you know, lead to cliffs where people fall off and, you know, and that's it. And so our job as people, my dad used to tell me, is to figure out your way to get there. It might be the shortest way. It might not be the shortest way. But as you're getting to the top of the mountain, your job is not to look at people to the left of you or to the right of you that might be different than you and kick them. If you don't agree with someone, if you don't agree with someone's post, if you don't agree with a way that someone gets motivated, if you don't agree with what they believe, if you don't like their nationality, their race, their color, whatever it is, it's not our job to kick them, right? If someone's failing at life, it's not our job to kick them when they're down. It's our job to help them and stand them back up. My dad always used to tell me this, right? You got to help people no matter where they're at. It doesn't matter what religion they are. It's not your job to go make them feel bad about the religion. Or if you're not religious, which is fine, it's not your job to tell people, hey, you know what? You guys are crazy for believing in God. Or if I believe in God, it's not my job to say, hey, people, you're all crazy because you don't believe in God. That's not our job. Is to help people no matter what get to the top of the mountain. Who knows who's right? Who knows who's right? But we're going to get there, right? And our job, and my job, the way I've always felt it, because of what my dad taught me, is like just help people get up there. However it is, in the best way you can, help people get up there. Some people will get there sooner, some people won't. Some people won't listen and they'll dive off a cliff. But our job is to help them get there. And I've always led my life that way. And I will tell you that because I've always been the guy to help people out, this business is super easy for me. So that's the second thing. And those are the two biggest tips I can give you today. The number one tip is be positive. Be a part of the product. Be very positive about what it is. When you hear any objection, just realize that you weren't as positive enough. You weren't as excited enough about it, right? Second tip, you got to be a good person. If you're not a good person, maybe you weren't the guy. Maybe you haven't been a great person. You know what? Fine. You know what? Wash that away. Who cares? Wash that away and move on and take a step in your life and just move on and say, you know what? I'm going to be a good person now. And I realize that this business is going to take me 2-3 extra more years to get going because I wasn't a good person. Fine. But move on, because life's going to happen anyways. And I know you're all amazing people. Every single one of you is amazing. Some of you might just need more help than others, and that's totally fine. And that's what we're here to do, is to help everybody out, grow as a team. And I'm super excited for the rest of the future. And this challenge has been amazing. I mean, the connections we've made has been so good. And I feel blessed every single day that I get to spend with you guys and making these videos. You see the finished product of these videos, but these videos, I usually record this about 17 times. This is actually the 4th recording of this one video. So I hope you appreciate, all the work that all of the coaches are doing. Rosario, myself, Aaron, Casey, Marlo, like all the hard work we're putting into making this valuable for you. I hope you listen to these videos entirely, and I hope that they change your life. I totally do. And so remember the assignment. You got to post below this video the top 3 objections that you get. Aaron and I are going to answer those objections. We're going to role play. It's going to be a lot of fun on Thursday. And I hope that the top 2 tips helped you as well. So take it easy. Have an amazing week. Live with passion and dream the extreme. Take it easy.